Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I welcome you to English grade 8 video lessons. I'm your instructor Zahmid and I hope that you're doing well. My dear learners, for grade 8, now we will be dealing with unit number 2 and the title is Greenhouse Effect and Our World. This will be our lecture number 4B with the competency of vocabulary, and let's begin by reading and understanding our students' learning outcome for this video lesson. Our SLO is explain the meaning of words from how they are used in different contexts. For example, explanations, technical language, expositions, persuasive language in both familiar and unfamiliar settings. Now, my dear learners, we will be using the context clues to explain the meanings of words which we are not familiar with in both familiar and unfamiliar settings. Now, context clues you are already familiar with, or if not, then we will learn about them, and we will be using context clues in different language, different writings like technical writings or language, expository writing or expositions, and also in persuasive language or persuasive writing. So how do we use context clues to find meanings of the unfamiliar words using context clues from these different kind of writings? This is our students learning outcome to achieve in this video lesson. Now moving on, here is a vertical linkage that you can read it and you will remember that you have already gone through it in the previous grade. Now, we have a very quick brainstorming question for you in this brainstorming session for today. Can you think about the word run? Can you think of a few different ways it can be used in a sentence? Now, the word run can be used in so many other ways. Can you use them correctly? Now, moving on, my dear learners, with the topic about context, and to understand anything using the context, we use context clues. Now let's see what these context clues are. Context clues are hints and extra information in a sentence or passage that help you understand the meaning of an unknown word. So context clues are basically hints, and they give you extra information in a sentence or any passage or paragraph that you're reading, and it will help you understand the meaning of an unknown word. So such hints are called context clues. My dear learners, we have different types of context clues, and a very interesting short form, an acronym for these context clues will be ideas. Now, we know that they are hints an author provides to help define a difficult or unusual word. Context clues are basically also given by the author for the reader to understand the word. Now, there are different kind of context clues, different types. Number one, inference, which is an educated guess that you make while you're reading the passage or the paragraph. The definition through which you can easily understand the meaning of the word. It gives the meaning of the word. Examples, it is samples such as a list or a scenario. So through examples, you can also have an idea about the word that you are looking the meaning for or the unfamiliar word. Antonyms, a word that has an opposite meaning, and synonyms, another word with the same meaning. So this word ideas, by remembering this, you can easily remember the different type of context clues that are inference, definition, examples, antonyms, and synonyms. So all these kind of context clues help you in identifying and actually reaching out to the meaning of the unfamiliar word by reading it. Now, let's talk about technical language or technical writing. In technical writing, the kind of language is used is called technical language. And if you're reading something in such language, how do you identify the meaning of an unfamiliar word using the context clues? Let's learn. This is from your page 16. Context or comparison clues, they are also called comparison clues. In technical language, vocabulary is used in specific fields like medicine or science. In a technical context, the word alarm refers to a signal or indication triggered by a specific event or condition. For example, the machine watching the reactor saw the temperature go up a lot and it quickly made a loud noise, sounding the alarm to tell the workers that something might be wrong. Now here the technical language used and the word is alarm. Now we know that in technical context, the alarm refers to a signal, that the alarm is actually not like the alarm clock, it is more like a signal. So by reading this example, you can easily know that the alarm, the word used here, is used as a signal for letting the workers know that there might be something wrong. So this is how you find out about any unfamiliar word or a word that has different meaning used in the passage. To reach out to the right meaning, you have to use the context clue in technical language or technical writing. Now, let's look at more examples about context clues in technical language. We have a very interesting sentence over here. The teacher explained how to solve for the variable in the equation. Now, this word variable, the writer of the sentence used the bracket to explain the word of the meaning of the word variable, which is an unknown value. So we find out that variable is something that is unknown. Context clue, let's look at the context clue in this sentence. The sentence describes a variable as something unknown, helping us understand it refers to a letter representing an unknown value in mathematics. Now, if you look at the word here, variable, let's say I do not know the meaning of variable, but by looking at the clue, looking at the example or the definition, that's whatever that is written in the passage, I can easily go to the meaning of the word. Here, variable, I'm giving a hint, unknown value. So I will infer that unknown value can be any variable in mathematics. So this is how you find contextual clues in your technical language or technical writing. Now, let's look for another kind of writing or language that's mentioned in the student's learning outcome after the technical language is expository language or expositionary writing. So from page 16, let's read exposition. So expositions include essays, newspaper and magazine articles, instruction manuals, textbooks, encyclopedia articles, and other forms. In an expository context, the word alarm is used to explain or talk about how people feel more aware or worried about something. For example, in recent news reports, the escalating pollution levels in the city have raised the alarm among residents, promoting discussions on the urgent need for environmental reforms. Now here, my dear learners, the word alarm is used, but it is used in an exposition kind of style. Now, if you read this, in recent news reports, the escalating pollution levels in the city have raised the alarm among residents. Now, among residents tell us that it is something that is happening with people. So alarm is used, that I will reach to the conclusion that alarm is a feeling that has arose in the people, in the residents. So it is like a feeling. It is not like the technical term alarm that we read before in the previous slides. So in expository writing, in expositions, we can come across the meaning of the unfamiliar word by using such context clues. Now, here is a passage in front of you. The word here, the very first one is photosynthesis. Now, in this paragraph, photosynthesis is explained in the rest of the sentences within the context, and the description provides enough information for readers to understand what it means, even if they have never encountered the term before. Now imagine if you have never encountered the term photosynthesis before. If you read this passage, you will have a very good idea about the term and what it belongs to. So by reading explanation and description, you can easily identify the meaning of the unfamiliar word in any passage or in any kind of text. Now, last but not the least is looking for context clues in persuasive language. Persuasive language are words or phrases that are used to convince someone to believe or do something, to persuade someone. Mention advertising, political speeches and debates as common context for persuasive language. In a persuasive context, the word, again we are taking it for the third time, the word alarm here is used to evoke a sense of urgency or concern in the audience. It's like nature is sounding an alarm. So in this kind of persuasive language, the word alarm is to alarm the person that you are persuading or the audience, to make them realize that this is something that is very urgent and you need to take an action urgently. So this is how we find out context clues to find the meaning of the unfamiliar word in a persuasive writing. Now, after covering all these different types of writings and looking for context clues with different examples, now it's time for you to watch the simulation video right after the video lesson that you're watching right now. You can watch it later and learn more about context clues in different kind of writings. My dear learners, for your classroom activity, you have to read the text of the lesson and extract 8 words from it and explain their meanings in different contexts. Take any 8 words and try to explain them in different contexts, and you can also give context clues as for the reader to understand the word without looking at a dictionary to look for the unfamiliar word. You can just give hints and clues for the reader to go to the meaning of the word that they are not familiar with. Now, here is your worksheet. The homework is to find each type of passage like expository, technical and persuasive, and underline 5 unfamiliar words. Find meaning using context clues. So, my dear learners, in the students learning outcome, we saw different kind of language and writing like expository, persuasive and also technical. So you will come up with 5 different words from such text. Take any random passage, any random text and find meaning using the context clues. Now we are here at the end of the lesson with some resources for your better understanding. You can easily find them in the description of the video. I hope that you had great time learning about context clues. What are they? Why do we use them? And how do we find context clues to reach out to the meaning of the word that we are not familiar with? Either it's in technical language persuasive language, or technical, or another one which is technical, persuasive, and that I'm forgetting the name. I hope that you are completely understanding the video lesson. Till the next video lesson, Allah Hafiz.